Hello, you are on time for New Vision TV News. I am Ruth Naseje. Now, the Hebrew translation for Jerusalem, the capital city of Israel, means the city of peace. This is derived from the biblical references that occupy our mind at the mention of the country Israel. In our third part series, Geoffrey Kulbia, the Vision Group, managing editor for regional newspapers, explores the holy places as he shares tips on how to identify them.
Israel is considered especially by Christians as sacred, with its capital city Jerusalem one of the oldest and holiest cities in the world. Israel is home to several of the world's sacred sites for different faiths: Muslims, Jews, Bahai and Christians.
Any Christian or Muslim would be looking forward to getting to these places. Many of them are in the old city of Jerusalem. Jesus' tomb, the place where he was crucified on the cross, seeing thousands of pilgrims trekking the places. I think to me it was great getting to what we call the holy places in Jerusalem.
Seeing everything come alive. It's almost like you've been reading text, it's theory, now it's practical. So, I mean, seeing the walls, seeing the path, seeing, I actually didn't even know that Mount Zion, Mount Olives, and then there's Mount Moriah, that they're so close like that. And so it brings what I've read from the Bible coming up with life. You know, it's like breathing, pulsating, you know.
Other fascinating places are the Wailing or Western Wall. The Wailing Wall is an ancient stone wall built for the Temple Mount Plaza. It is called the Wailing Wall as you will meet people praying on the wall and see several prayer sheets stacked into the wall.
The Western Wall, in my country, we popularly call it the Wailing Wall because we've had our leaders come there, take snapshots. I mean, they trend. And anyone who comes to Israel obviously wants to go to the Western Wall. And so it's true, it's symbolic, not just in Judaism and not just to people who are here in Israel or other religions, but also to us who are Christians from where we come from. Did I drop a note? Yes, I did. Actually, 2 notes. I took 2 notes. I took time to really think from my heart what is it that I want to write. And the first note was obviously praying for Israel and for peace. So I wrote down that I pray that God will bring peace, that there will be peace in Israel, that those families and people who have been scattered abroad, you know, coming back home to live in a peaceful environment, because I love Israel, and so many of us do. So that's the first piece of note that I wrote. The second one was now personal, was more praying for myself, praying that for God's guidance in everything that I do in life, in His call, praying for my family, and praying for the future of my family, and praying for my daughter as well.
The Wailing Wall is believed to be the closest spot to Solomon's original temple and the Holy of Holies, or Gate of Heaven, the place where Jewish prayer is directed.
The Mount of Zion, that is outside of the city walls of today, where the bus drop us off, is outside of the city walls. Okay. Now, who was buried there? Famous king. I just said it. The same of this one, but it's wrong. The same of the 6 points. David. Okay. Now, actually, that is also a problem, because if this is not David's city, how that is the tomb of David, the grave of David? Because that's clear in the scriptures. For
Muslims, the Wailing Wall is known as the Barak Wall, where the Prophet Muhammad tied his winged horse Barak. Also, there is the Temple Mount in the southeast corner of Jerusalem's old city, surrounded by palms and cypress trees. It is thought to be Mount Moriah, where Abraham offered to sacrifice his son Isaac to God. Today on the Temple Mount complex, you will find 2 important Islamic structures. For Muslims, it is the 3rd holiest site in Islam after Mecca and Medina in Saudi Arabia. It is believed to be the rock where the Prophet Muhammad left earth to visit heaven on a winged horse. It was also the direction of Islamic prayer before God allowed Muhammad to pray towards Mecca instead. The city is full of fascinating holy sites to visit, captivating one with their old stone architecture, unique shapes, designs, color and patterns inside.
This is the Christian acclaimed grave of Jesus Christ here at the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem, and precisely at the Christian quarter, one of the 4 quarters at the Temple Mount, one of the most strategic religious places in the world.
Ultimately, I think for everyone, not just me, it's Golgotha, where Jesus was crucified. I mean, that I was watching, everyone was just walking along the path, and it's almost like that emotional moment where you come to yourself and you're reflecting on a lot, and that's, for me, was the highlight, I think, of the day. The other places are really cool, but that one, that this is actually where he was crucified. I mean, I've seen movies since we were children, Sunday schools, told stories that he was crucified between 2 thieves and all that, and it's almost like it's an ancient story, like a myth, but now you see that this is the rock, this is the place. It's almost unbelievable.
For those intending to visit Israel, Kulubia shares tips on what to pack and how to go about it in Israel.
There are 3 things which you shouldn't miss. 1, religious tourism. And if you are to maximize it, you need to organize it in advance so that you start your journey of Israel from Egypt. So people would go, disembark from a plane in Egypt, jump on a tourist bus that will take you to all the places where you'll find the religious story associated with or attributed to Jesus, from where it started to where it ended.
Jerusalem, the city of peace, as it is called in Hebrew, will leave you many fascinating recollections.
In other news, the UPDF Chieftaincy of Military Intelligence Unit Disciplinary Committee on Tuesday charged and sentenced 6 officers to 2 months detention at Makinde Military Prison on cases related to misuse of social media. The officers at the rank of lieutenant and captain were arraigned before the court, which sat at the Chieftaincy of Military Intelligence headquarters in Mbuya, chaired by Colonel Tom Kabuye. The officers are Captain Emmanuel Chamwiru, Captain Shemu Nakora, Lieutenant Wilson Kahamba, Lieutenant Ronald Waturuma, 2nd Lieutenant Ronald Kabagambe, and 2nd Lieutenant Michael Wasimwe. These were charged with an offense of conduct prejudicial to good conduct and discipline of the Defense Forces, contrary to Section 178 of the UPDF Act 7 of 2005. In other news, parents have been asked to stop entrusting organizations and other entities to look after their children other than themselves. Wakiso District Probation Officer and Welfare Mary Nakazwe said a number of parents have deliberately given up the responsibility of looking after their children when they realize organizations can offer help. Nakazwe says, according to the Principal Children's Act, the parents are supposed to perform the primary role of caring for the children, not the organizations, government, or the probational officers. And in our sports news, with just days left for the first edition of the Eastern Weightlifting Gala at Queen's Palace Pub this Friday, already Charles Goa and Tuaha Kaisa, 91 kilograms plus, have both sounded warning bells for their rivals from other clubs. The 2 outstanding weightlifters have recently increased on their time for their daily training session at Black Monster Gym in Jinja ahead of the long-awaited competition. Veteran Goa, aged 47, carries 91 kilograms plus alongside his teammate Twaha, age 32, will team up for Black Monster Club alongside Ibrahim Suga, 62 kilograms, Jacob Ontuyo, 71 kilograms, Jonah Kirunda, 74 kilograms, and national top performer Godfrey Baligea, 100 kilograms among the seniors. Uganda's #1 heavy weightlifter Godfrey Baligea from Jinja-based Black Monster Gym will be among the first to watch in the first edition of the Eastern Interclub weightlifting competition that will take place on December 22nd at Queen's Palace Pub in Jinja. The one-day gala will attract participants from Jinja's top gyms like Black Monsters Gym, Alpha, Harried Health First Gym, Kayogera, and Garden Hotel Gym, alongside weightlifters from various clubs from Iganga, Kamuli, Mbale, and Bujiri. You're still watching New Vision TV News, and in our daily Pearl of Africa series, we look at the art of rafting at the Nile. Now, rafting is one of the most exciting activities anyone should try out if they decide to experience the possibilities of fun on Uganda's water bodies. In this edition, we explore the various techniques you would engage in when you spend this Christmas season at the River Nile. In a time when the festive mood tries to grip your mind, relaxing activities cloud it, as at times you end up not deciding or taking the wrong decision. However, water rafting is one of the activities I would recommend. This is a sport that requires the participants to have a dinghy and an oar, which they will use while on the water. It sees a crew to work in unison to navigate a river or artificial whitewater course. In Uganda, the best and highly recommended rafting water body is the River Nile. Just like this group of tourists, they engage in various rafting tricks which make the experience worthwhile. Some of these are pillow ride. In this trick, water pillows as current hits a vertical surface. Surfing is yet another trick where the craft uses waves on rivers to surf. Other tricks are drop surfing, nose junks, and back pivots. These make the water rafting experience very unforgettable, but I have to warn you, if you don't get training from an experienced rafter, the sport may cause harm to you or end your life. Now, for more Pearl of Africa stories, visit our website www.newvision.co.ug. Our newspaper, The Sunday Vision, is also another home of adventures, so grab your copy every Sunday for more Pearl of Africa stories. And that's all we had for you. Thank you for watching. Be sure to catch more news updates and other programs here on New Vision TV by visiting our website www.newvision.co.ug. I am Rathi Naseje.